Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. This is Dragothien here, and today we're going to continue our Epic Commander Ranker series, and this is going to be for the Rally Edition. Keep in mind, quick note, right? Epic Commanders aren't necessarily going to be the best ralliers in the end game. There's a couple that can kind of fit in there, and I'll talk to you about those as we go along, but this is really for those who are in later kingdoms or just starting out in the kingdom, and you're kind of even when it comes to, you know, who you're rallying versus who's garrisoning. And then also there's not a whole lot of, you know, superpower players inside of your alliance with super high tech and properly built out commanders. So with that being said, let's jump right in. First off, we're going to start from the bottom this time. I'm going to start with Olgi. He is an infantry commander who has some decent nuke, some decent attack capabilities. He has the attack talent tree. Definitely decent. I think that he does pretty well in this situation. I would put him in the better category. Again, I'm doing this for those who are using epic commanders as a rallier, not necessarily putting them on the better whenever you compare it to the legendary version of this same guide that you've got on this channel. So this is for those that only have epic commanders or maybe a few legendaries here and there. These are the commanders that you can pair with them or use specifically to do this rallying. So Olgi, in my opinion, has the capability to be a decent rallier. He's got good defense, he's got decent nuke, he's got a nice fourth skill that does significant extra normal damage. I'm going to put him in the better category. I think he fits there. Sun Tzu. We're going to kick him off right off the bat. I'm going to put him in the best category. Again, he just has everything you want as an epic commander. He's an all-around high versatility commander. AoE nuke, he's got rage generation, he's got defensive capabilities, and he's got skill damage enhancements, which will go well with one of the other commanders that I'm likely going to be putting in the best category as well coming up. So I think he's going to be in the best category, and I think everybody should agree with that. Sun Tzu should be in the best category for this particular purpose, and most purposes for epic commanders, to be honest. Herman. I think Herman does really well because of his silence. I'm going to put him in the better category too. I think just because he has one of the better nukes for epic commanders in the game. I think until Kira came out, I think he actually had the highest nuke with his expertise, just single target wise, of any epic commander. So I think he's a good rallier as well. Again, I would put him maybe second to if you've got YSG maxed, or again, other rallying commanders that you saw on my other legendary version of this. You can pair these guys up with those commanders and do pretty well. I mean, if this is what you got to work with and you're in a newer kingdom, you'll do some damage, you'll do some work. Kusunoki. Now, I might surprise some people here, but I'm going to put him in best. And the reason I say that, people endgame ralliers use Kusunoki sometimes, and reason being, his first skill removes all debuffs. And right now the meta is, if you're getting rallied or if you're sending a rally, you want to send debuffers along with it so that you further enhance that rally or that garrison. Kusunoki nullifies that by removing all debuffs from your rally. So I've seen quite a few successful endgame players use Kusunoki as part of their rallying combination, and it works really, really well. It works really well. So I think I'm going to put him in the best. I think he has longevity in the game, and then on top of that, he does do AoE damage. He has tankiness. He's got additional AoE or additional skill damage as well. I mean, he does a lot of things really well. He's going to be in best. Another epic commander I'm going to put in best, Osman. Osman is a conquering epic commander that has a ton of nuke. Pairing him up with Kusunoki, in fact, or Sun Tzu would be a very good combination. You can have Kusunoki primary, Osman secondary with full archers, Sun Tzu primary with Osman secondary with full infantry. You can even swap it up if you want to. If you want to have a mixed troop army going out, there's a particular build that you want to have for that. But I recommend doing the single troop type rallies. Those are just tend to be more effective. However, you can use Osman with a conquering talent tree as a rallier, and specifically a city rallier, and he does pretty darn well. And again, the amount of nuke damage that he puts out alongside of having the conquering tree makes me put him in the best category. Next one is Scipio. Now, you guys know my disdain for Scipio on this channel. He just doesn't have the longevity of most commanders. However, in this situation as a rallying commander, I am going to put him as a second. He's a good second in the better category to a lot of these commanders as well. Sun Tzu Scipio, LG Scipio, Herman Scipio, LG Scipio, Kusunoki Scipio. You can do all that stuff. You can have these guys together. You could even do Osman Scipio. Now, again, the reason Scipio and Osman can be a little bit iffy is because that fourth skill they have, the troop capacity bonus, does not apply in a rally. However, all their other ones do, and they have specific skills for rallies. So you definitely want to look at Scipio as a decent epic rallying commander. He's even decent in open field like we saw last time, although not great. He definitely does some work, especially in later kingdoms. Early game inside of a kingdom, he does really, really well. Definitely try and use him as a secondary. Again, you can use him as a primary with mixed troops. Won't be as effective, but you can still do it and get some damage done. As a rallier, Joan has to be a fail. So Joan has a lot of really good uses. She can be part of that buff group I was talking about when you're rallying. If you want to go ahead and attack the city with a Joan Ethelfled or a Joan Barca army, or Joan, if you've got Constantine, army, but not part of the rally itself. She should be part of a support group, not necessarily the rally itself. You're just wasting a whole commander to buff an army. It's just not going to work out really well for you. Kira. Again, this is all theoretical because nobody has Kira maxed. I gotta think she's going to be best considering her skill damage enhancement. Could you imagine Sun Tzu Kira or Kira Sun Tzu with full archers? Could you imagine that as an epic rallying pair? That'd be pretty sweet. I think that'd be really good. The skill damage you're pumping out is amazing. The skill damage enhancement you get from Kira is amazing. All those things work out really well. I think that Kira Sun Tzu, Sun Tzu Kira, or throw Osman in there, or Kusunoki Kira, Kira Kusunoki, that would be really good too. Those are both archer commanders. I think that would work really, really well. Boadicea. I'm going to put her in a good category. She has a really good nuke. She has damage enhancements. She does have a heal. Those are all really good. If she's expertise, you could probably put her in the better category with Scipio and Ilgi and Herman. But because she's so generic, she can't be a primary unless you're doing mixed troops, and even then you've got better options like we just talked about with Scipio or Osman. So I'm going to put her in a good category. She can be in the better if she's expertise as a second to somebody. So Sun Tzu Boadicea or Ilgi Boadicea, that's certainly doable, and you should do some decent damage. But she's mainly a peacekeeper for the most part. She can be used open field to good effect because of her nuke and how powerful it is. You know, good or better. I think that she could go in either one. I'm going to slot her in good, though, just because the other three that are in the better category, I think, are better suited for rallying specifically. Lohar. In the fail category, he should not be a part of anything fighting related PvP-wise. He is through and through a PvE commander. He is out there for open field PvE content like you know, killing barbarians and things like that, getting those quests done, leveling up commanders. He's a commander leveler with his skill, his 70% XP skill. That's exactly what he's for. He's not for fighting. Belisarius. Let's see. I'm going to put him in the good category. He can be used. He's got a debuff. Again, I think he's a great part of a debuff group, so that you could use Belisarius with Joan together to both debuff and buff the rally beside you. You could do Belisarius as part of a rally group, but again, you're just not going to have the damage that you're going to want. And that debuff is powerful, but it only lasts for like 2 or 3 seconds. So not enough to warrant him taking up a commander slot and 2 precious commander slots in a rally. Alright, we're coming up towards the end. We got 2 more commanders left. Pelagius is the next commander, and I'm going to go ahead and put him in best category. He has a heal. He's got defensive capabilities. He is a garrison commander, but he does have additional skill damage that pairs really well with a lot of these other commanders that we've already talked about. Kusunoki, Osman, Sun Tzu, Again, there are plenty of legendary pairings that you can pair with Pelagius, and it works out really, really well. You can even pair him up with like a Scipio or something like that. That's very possible. Not great, but it definitely works out. You can pair up pretty much any of the best or better category folks together and just make sure you have the right troop type in that rally, and you will be in decent shape. And then finally, we've got Baybars. Baybars, I'm going to also put in the best category. He has got the Conquering Talent Tree, so again, you can throw that in there and get Moment of Triumph, Meteor Shower. Buckler Shield, of course, is a great Conquering Tree talent to have. Again, he does a ton of damage. He does a lot of attack stats inside of his skills. So I think he also is part of the best category. And again, you can pair him up with any of these other commanders in the best or better category, and they will work very, very well. And you can even have Baybar's primary and take advantage of that Conquering Talent Tree. And the Conquering Talent Tree actually works really, really well in the early game. So if you're in a later kingdom or you're just getting started out, you can use Conquering Talent Tree commanders and spec decently into that tree to do some really good damage. But as the end game approaches and even the mid game approaches, and you have enough troops for one troop type armies, and you have commanders that are level 60 that can be filled by all one troop type, you want to focus into those actual talent trees for those troops. So for instance, again with Baybars, right, you've got Cav, Skill, and Conquering. In the early game, you can focus a little more into the Conquering tree, and then maybe take the Cav tree up and get some of the rage generation tools. Certainly Emblazoned Shield is something that you should be speccing into, and then go heavy into the skill damage. When maybe you get to the mid game, scale the Conquering tree back and maybe just take Moment of Triumph and or Buckler Shield, and then put the rest of those points into the Cav tree. I think that would work out really, really well for you, because then you can actually bring full Cav, no doubt about getting Cav reinforcements, that kind of thing, and that will be a more effective rally than just going generic Conquering Talent Tree and then, starting with Cav, but then maybe getting some reinforcements that are not Cav just to make sure the rally's full. So that's kind of the gist of that, and I think this is a pretty good setup for what we've got going here. Again, I think a couple commanders can go up or down a little bit depending on where you're at in the game, but I think this is just a good general rule of thumb that you should live by when you're talking about rallying. Definitely the fail folks, do not use them for a rally whatsoever. The good folks, I would not, but again, you can use them. Boadicea is kind of in that in-between better-good category. Better category, again, these guys can be used and should be used if you don't have any of the best commanders set up to do so, but the best commanders, I think, are where it's at for where you should be sending your troops to destroy somebody's city, or to take out a flag, or capture a pass. Those are what you want to go ahead and take care of in open field PvP. Rallying, doesn't matter what you're rallying, this will work just fine. Also want to quickly announce too, before I drop the video here, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a starter project somewhere towards, because we're about to hit 1,000 kingdoms, by the way, in Rise of Kingdoms, and it is blowing up. And I think that, where I'm at in the game, right, I've got multiple accounts that are 100 million plus, and even my alt account is close to 60 million with T5. Sometimes you can get a little jaded, right? You can get a little pigeonholed into, what's working with your accounts, because you're at the end game. You've gone through multiple KVKs, you've built up your account, and things are a lot easier in certain aspects with bigger accounts, right? You don't have to worry about XYZ. You don't have to worry about, I've got to choose between investing in this and investing in this. So I want to reacquaint myself with the early game. I want to reacquaint myself with the newer kingdom where it's not necessarily easy mode everywhere, and not everybody are allies together. So I want to bring that to you guys as well. I'll likely be using that as my stream stuff every day on Twitch and on YouTube. And then I'll keep doing these videos for you guys for endgame content. And certainly KVK is obviously a huge part of this, and that trumps everything. But in the meantime, in between, I want to reacquaint myself with, one, getting to know some of the newer players in the game. I want that community to come and join us too, because this community has really turned into one of the veteran, solid endgame communities, and I want to introduce some of the newer folks that are just coming into the game, and a lot of you are coming that way, but I want to expedite that. I want to get some visuals on what that looks like from new kingdom perspective, new account. I'm not going to put any money into it. Maybe just the basics to show you what you can do as a low spending impact player. Show you how to grow an account really efficiently, so that you don't have to blow a bunch of money, but still grow really, really quickly and efficiently grow your commanders and your troop count and things like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Look out for that. I'm going to throw some announcements out on my Discord and on the channel, and invite anybody who wants to join. It won't be a jumper thing. I'm not doing jumper projects and stuff like that. If you're doing jumpers, to me, it just means that you're just trying to take over a kingdom and get a head start on where you're going to land at, which is great. I mean, there's a purpose to that, and no offense to jumpers, that there's something to be done there. But for what I'm trying to do, I want to show you, the brand new player that just saw the ad for Rise of Kingdoms on their phone. They load it up, they fire it up, they're in a new kingdom. Holy crap, what do I do? There's so much here to learn and to do. That's what I want to bring with that project. So look out for that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Epic Commander Ranker for Rallying Edition as well. I'll continue this. We've got 4 more of these to go. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap this series up. I've got another couple series that we've started on this channel earlier that I haven't finished yet, so I'll be working on those too. But this one's been nice. I wanted to make sure that you guys had this from this channel, this community, and the community has responded too. I like the fact that folks are putting comments in the comment section below, so that we can get back and forth. There's a couple things that I've said that have either changed or I was mistaken on, so check in the comments below for those things. I think Alex's third skill was one of them. Obviously, I missed a couple commanders on the first one. So, but that being said, I really hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have not hit the subscribe button yet, please do so. Hit the bell notification as well, so you get all these goodies every single day. I'm putting out content every day and then some. So make sure you're hitting that bell notification so you get the pop-up saying, hey, Drago's got some stuff up there that you guys might want to see. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one. Take care.